Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into today's video. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Crossing the Line. Today we're going to be looking at this story out of Nashville about that shooting that happened in a Christian school in Tennessee, where 3 innocent 9-year-old children were shot and killed by a 28-year-old trans woman known as Audrey Hale. Also, 3 teachers were shot and killed at the same time as well, before police were able to enter the building and fatally shoot the perpetrator. So we're going to take a look at the story here. It is a bit sad and disturbing, so just bear that in mind. What we know about the Nashville school shooting. On Monday, a school shooting at a private religious grade school in Nashville, Tennessee, left 3 adults and 3 9-year-olds dead. The shooter, identified by police as former student Audrey Hale, 28, was killed by police at the scene. The shooting and the possible motives remain under investigation. Reports were first made by the shooting in the Covenant School, the private Catholic school that teaches pre-K through to 6th grade, on Monday morning. Surveillance video showed the shooter was able to get into the school by shooting out a side door. The shooter then traversed the building, going to the 2nd floor and firing multiple shots. It's not clear when the 6 victims were killed or how they encountered the shooter. The shooter was killed within 14 minutes of the first report of the shooting, police said Monday, an action that likely saved many, many lives, according to a Nashville Mayor John Cooper. Body camera footage released by the Nashville Police Department showed the shooter on the 2nd floor of the building when they were killed by responding officers. Police said the shooter was firing at police cars outside the school when the officers engaged. The shooting was a targeted attack, officials said on Tuesday. The shooter, a former student of the Covenant School, may have had some resentment for having to go to that school, Nashville Police Chief John Drake told CBS Mornings. However, the students and the adults killed, including a custodian, a substitute teacher, and the head of the school, were likely not specifically targeted, authorities told CBS News. We have no evidence that the individuals were specifically targeted, said Don Aaron, the director of the media relations at the Nashville Police Department. This school, this church building, was a target of the shooter, but we have no information at present to indicate that the shooter was specifically targeting any one of the 6 individuals who were murdered. What we know about the victims were identified on Tuesday. 3 children, Evelyn Dickhouse, Haley Scruggs, and William Kinney, all 9 years old. Scruggs was the daughter of Chad Scruggs, the senior pastor at the Covenant Presbyterian Church, which is associated with the private school. The adults killed were identified as the school of Catherine Coonkey, 60, substitute teacher Cynthia Peake, 61, and custodian Mike Hill, 61. Body cam footage released by the police shows female adult arriving police officers. Some students were in lockdown during the school shooting. According to the school's website, the Covenant School has 33 teachers and up to 210 students. Other students were brought to a reunification center after the school shooting, police said. US flags and federal properties are being flown at half-staff through Friday in honor of the 6 victims. A large memorial at the school with the flowers, stuffed animals, and candles has been growing since Monday. A former student told CBS Mornings that Kuntz was a champion for all the students, who was full of life and had a lot more to give. I'm representing a lot of people when I say she pulled us across the finish line, oftentimes after we quit, Barrett said. The family of Hill said in a statement shared by CBS Nashville affiliate that the 61-year-old had worked at the school for 14 years. We would like to thank Nashville community for all the continued thoughts and prayers as we try to grieve and grasp what is our understanding of why this happened. We continue to ask for support, the family wrote. We pray for the Covenant School and are so grateful that Michael, the beloved by the faculty and the students who filled them with joy for 14 years. He was a father of 7 children and 14 grandchildren. He liked to cook and spend time with his family. So, obviously, that's pretty disgusting. Another school shooting, killing 6. What has been even more disgusting, or to continue how bad it was, people are getting offended that people are misgendering the shooter. Now, the shooter being trans, I think, it's not that big of a deal, besides the point that it shows that they obviously had some sort of mental issues or failings or something like that. So they obviously had some emotional trauma, obviously had some, you don't know who you are as a person. You've got something going on, you need to go and seek help. This person obviously needed to seek help. And I think this was more of a politically motivated thing, so it would put it in the line of a terrorist attack. The police have the shooter's manifesto. They haven't released it yet as of time of filming this anyway. And we don't know what's in there. And even if they do release it, we don't know whether they're going to redact it or whether they're going to be telling us the truth that was in there. But I guarantee you this person going to a Christian school, a pre-K school, only up to grade 6, mind you, so they're only little children, and having some sort of love affair with an ex-girlfriend or something like that by the looks of it as well. This person was obviously mentally unstable, should not have been able to get a hold of those firearms anyway. It doesn't matter what type of firearms they are. If you're that mentally unstable that you're cutting off body parts and you're taking life-altering drugs every day of the week, you should probably need to be looked at in whether you should have those guns in the first place. I mean, I shoot all the time. Guns are fantastic. Americans have some of the best gun law, or the best gun laws in the world, I would say. There's obviously something they need to do about this kind of thing from happening. But you have the right, due to the Constitution, to legally own and bear arms. And you should be able to have that right here in Australia. But that is getting taken away from us daily because of things like this. Even this horrendous act that happened in another country, they will blame it on the guns instead of the failing mental health issues that they have over there. And any time that something like this happens, how many of these psychotropic drugs are these children on? How many life-altering, brain-altering drugs and pretty much numb you out to the pain of existence? How many of those drugs are these people on? It's handfuls of them, every single one of them. And that's something that no one ever wants to talk about, and they just want to blame it on the gun. But the gun didn't wake up that morning and decide to go and shoot and kill 6 people. She did. Audrey Hale, 28-year-old transgender person who was obviously mentally unwell, decided to do that. We'll keep reading this story from CS here. What we know about the shooter. The shooter was identified in police on Monday, 28-year-old Audrey Hale of Nashville. No motive has been determined. The shooter had 3 weapons at the government school, police said, illegally purchased 7 weapons from 5 local gun stores. The shooter lived with their parents and hid the guns from them, according to police. The shooter's parents believed that they had 1 gun that they had been sold. They did not know about the other purchases and felt that Hale should not own weapons. Police said the shooter had been receiving treatments for emotional disorder that had not been reported to authorities. Tennessee does not have a red flag law that could give police the authority to remove weapons from a person, Drake told CBS News. As it stands, we had absolutely no idea actually who this person was, Drake said. Police have said that the shooter was extremely prepared for the killings with a manifesto and other details found in their home. We have a manifesto, we have a booklet that shows exactly what she planned to do, Drake said. We have maps that show the entry point of the school, the weapons that were going to be used, the clothing that she said she was going to wear, and she had drawn it up almost like a cartoon character. It was exactly that she had what she had on during this incident. The maps were detailed, Drake said, with the possible entry routes and surveillance notes. There's quite a bit of writing to do, Drake told reporters on Tuesday. I have not read the whole manifesto. Our team and FBI are working on this. Drake said that the shooter may have had other targets, including a local mall. Maps found at the shooter's home turned up more maps pre-training to maybe some thinking about other incidents, he said. We strongly believe that there was going to be some other targets, including maybe family members and one of the malls here in Nashville, Drake said, and that just did not happen. I'm glad we didn't have a repeat of Uvalde where those police stood outside. If you go and watch the body cam footage, Donna Operator on YouTube has a fantastic video and breakdown of the whole thing. Those police officers entered that building and within 3 minutes they had shot and killed this piece of shit and left her bleeding out on the ground like she deserves. Now, the people that are protesting in the Capitol building in Tennessee, in Nashville right now. Trans protesters and anti-gun lobbyists have joined forces and they've taken over the Capitol building in the US. So you don't hear about that much on the news, but a whole bunch of trans people going there saying that their lives matter and that there was 7 victims in this terrible day. No, there was 6 victims and there was 1 human piece of garbage that was left writhing on the ground in blood and pain, which is what she deserved. And they're upset on Twitter that you're misgendering them because they wanted to be a boy when they were born a girl. So sad, isn't it? What has the world come to that when 3 9-year-old children and 3 adults were shot and killed by a mentally ill person, and just because they have the correct mental illness, people are whinging and crying and upset about that person being shot and killed. I've seen tweets that they were saying that they used too much force and they shouldn't have shot her and she didn't do anything wrong. And that doesn't mean, even though she did these things, it doesn't mean that she should be misgendered, because then you're just creating a circle of hate and pain. And that I've seen people saying that these children and adults deserved it because they obviously must have been transphobes or something like that. And it makes you really wonder the state of the US, where people can do the mental gymnastics to try to make sense out of this, and they come up with the idea that the shooter was the one who was aggrieved, the one who was done the most wrong. No, not the 9-year-old little children that had their whole lives ahead of them that were cut short because this mentally ill person decided, instead of just blowing their own brains out and doing the world a favour, they're going to take some poor people with them. So I don't know where to go with that one. But thanks for watching this episode, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.